So this next game is Mushroom Musume. I do believe it's a game where you can raise a real beefed up mushroom daughter, give her some good stats perhaps. We'll see. Ooh, this looks nice. Oh, you can actually pause the music. There's an almanac. Okay. Oh! It's okay. It's okay. Though they had no need for society, they did often find themselves home to a loneliness that could never quite shake. In the morning, the sun would rise. At night, it would set. The recluse would observe the splendor, knowing that the sight would be made all the more beautiful by having someone to share it with. It wasn't that they desired a relationship. Perhaps it was a flame that had burned them one too many times, or perhaps they were simply disinterested. No, a child, that's what they wanted, someone to take care of, to teach. Unfortunately, it was a longing that could not be found, not in these woods alone. However, we're never quite as alone as we think, are we? One day a witch appeared, as if drawn by the intensity of the recluse's desire. The lumber that the recluse had spent the morning gathering slipped through their hands as they spotted her, the witch of the woods. She began to speak. You desire a child, yes? For some, those are quite easy to come by, but not you, it would seem. Let us make a deal then. If you do 3 simple chores for me, I will present you with the daughter of your very own. The recluse, caught up in a moment of naivety, quickly agreed. The witch, knowing that the recluse was destined to accept, simply nodded and began to deliver the first of these so-called chores without hesitation. Oh, this is a beautiful cabin. Oh, it's spring. Okay. It's important for a young person to be well grounded in this world, I hear. Bring me a jar of soil to help with this process. Keep in mind that not all dirt is the same, though. Consider the source carefully. Soil? That did sound somewhat magical, the recluse supposed. Left with this vague prompt, they considered their options. The most picturesque section of the forest you have ever laid eyes upon? Your favorite foraging nook? A quiet graveyard? I think this, your favorite foraging nook. The nook was just on the outskirts of the forest, but conveniently hidden from curious villagers. When in need, this spot had never let the recluse down. This time was no different, as dirt was there in abundance. Arriving back at their meeting place, the recluse was excited to share their selection with the witch. So that's what you picked, eh? Very well, it shall do. Feeling the need to scrub their skin, the recluse retired to their hut to cleanse themselves. The second day. The recluse slept more soundly that night than they had in ages, having a purpose to soothe them, even if they had found themselves caught up with a witch. They elected not to think about that, though. Instead, when the morning came, they simply did what they had to do, which is to say, they got up and went to meet with the witch. Upon watching the recluse's approach, a sardonic smile lit the witch's face. You completed your first task admirably. 2 more and I can finally give you what you want. She paused for only a moment before delivering her next message of import. Growth struggles to be achieved without presence. Offer me that which embodies the emotion you would provide for your daughter. The recluse pondered for a moment, thinking of what they had to offer. A prized gem fragment? A tear-stained portrait? A silver-backed hand mirror? A gem fragment! Obviously. If there was anything worth showcasing that sheer wonder that the recluse would have for their daughter, it was a small glittering fragment they kept secret. Like a brilliant emerald, it glimmered unlike anything else the recluse had ever seen, but even they understood that beneath its surface coursed something ethereal. Returning to the witch, the recluse held out their offering. My, I suppose all growth comes at a cost, no? Feeling a tender hollowness, the recluse declined to answer. The third day. With 2 assignments complete, the recluse could feel their excitement grow. If this witch was being honest, and for some reason they felt that she was, then that meant that this could be the last night they spent without a child. They hoped so, at least. That was all they could do. Barely remembering to get dressed, the recluse dashed to the meeting spot. Again, the witch had been waiting there for them. Welcome back, recluse. Are you prepared? Today is your big day, is it not? The last task is an easy one, or at least I believe so. Bring me something colorful, something bright that you think will suit her. When they were first told of the 3 tasks, the recluse had imagined things that were much more difficult. This seemed so easy as to be a trick. Which, they supposed, only meant that they should take it seriously, as if a mistake could mean death. With death in mind, the recluse needed to decide where to search for the color. Oh, hold on. Oh, it was nothing. A field of flowers, a stony river. A river sounds nice. Though underwater wasn't the first place most people thought of for color, the recluse understood there were so many shades that people failed to consider. They arrived at a nearby river, glancing into the glassy water to spy a variety of small shining stones. Brimstone, an alchemical wonder, a strange, almost bloody stone, jasper, nature's canvas, turquoise, prized symbols of luck and fortune, obsidian, a glassy ghost of ancient fires. I'm really feeling obsidian, but I'm also really feeling jasper. Let's do jasper. Reaching into the cool waters, the recluse retrieved what appeared to be a painting of a far-off landscape. With mountains, hills, and valleys, it offered a uniqueness perfect for their daughter. Oh! Look at the color change. The recluse returned to the witch's hut, colored item in hand. She silently took the object, nodding her hand to the recluse in recognition. The recluse stood there for a moment, unsure, before finally the witch realized what they expected. Oh ho ho, you want your promised daughter, don't you? Her voice was almost mocking, but at least it was not overtly cruel. I suppose I must tell you that I lied, human. I do require several more trifling things from you. First is the matter of payment. Oh, this music changed really nice. The recluse should have known that everything is for a cost. Pay me now with wealth? Pay me now with life? Pay me sometimes... Ooh, this is drama. Pay me at a much later date in the way I choose. Yes. The recluse told the witch they couldn't repay her, not anytime soon. That is fine. Of course, I will collect payment eventually. With the payment settled, the witch simply smiled and handed the recluse a small pot. Humans are tricky, but mushrooms are much more resilient. Consider this an upgrade. Don't worry, eventually she will develop a mind. Simply give her time, as much as she needs. Soon your wish will be in full bloom. I suppose with all that settled, though, there is one last thing for you to consider. A young girl needs a proper name. The recluse thought on the witch's demand before offering the final thing they had to give. This is a lot of responsibility. I need to think. I want to be stupid. But this is my daughter we're talking about. What is a name for a mushroom? Mushrooms have caps. Mushrooms are fungus. What's a way to... How can we turn fungus into a cute name? Fungi? If Fergie can be Fergie, my daughter can be fungi. That may have been a mistake. That may have not been very cute of me. But it is done. Then she walked away, only fate knowing if the two should ever meet again. Chapter 2. Cultivation. Though the recluse was unsure of the specifics, they did realize that it was important to heed her instructions, care for the pot and the dirt and everything that lay within. So the recluse geared up, as any parent should, and assessed the things they needed to raise a child. Finances, in case the nearby village had goods or services that you could not provide. Nutrients for the child, to help it grow strong. They would need plenty, as it would be depleted on a daily basis. And finally, the recluse's own stamina could not be ignored. One cannot burn the candle from both ends indefinitely. Thus began the longest growing season of the recluse's life. Is this my baby? fungi. Oh, a brown mushroom? Not very cute. And okay, that's okay, that's okay. Oh, the affection is high. Okay. My daughter's doing okay, though, regardless. When you go out, you spot it. A small fairy clad in brown is sitting amongst your crops. Hunt the fairy? Catch the fairy to sell in town? Build a small fairy garden in your daughter's room. Would I want the favor of a fairy? Or do I want to sell the fairy? My daughter needs her money. Oops. I do that all the time in games. Actually, that wouldn't be a bad place to save, just to be sure. If I... Let's gain the Fae are a tricky sort of folk, right? The fairy can barely lift the coin, but seems grateful as they sprinkle a small pile of fairy dust for you to collect. You're unsure how to use it, but feel personally better for having it all the same. This decision being made, life continued. Oh, wow. I think I need nutrients. Harsh weather has taken its toll on your garden, and your entire harvest has been lost. Weeks' worth of food and labor has been rotted and destroyed. Without immediate action, you and your daughter will be in trouble later down the line. No. Accept the loss for now. You can make do. Start over! My stamina went down? No use crying over ruined crops. You simply make adjustments to your garden. There'll be less variety this season, but you'll live to see it. That's what matters. Ooh, nutrients are high, though. Wait! You awaken one morning to the sound of something moving about your home. Your daughter has grown a pair of sturdy legs. Look at her! I'm sorry I ever said she wasn't cute. Look at her legs. Six hearts? Underdeveloped and childish. The creature walks about easily, using her new strength to push and rummage through your belongings. Her demeanor seems cute and helpful, often following you as you go about your daily tasks. I have a child. Spend time nurturing her environment, encourage her cooperation? No. Let's get her some Tonka trucks and such. You decide that now is the best time to promote her growth, spending extra effort improving her living conditions. Your daughter seems to appreciate the attention and emotes cheerfully. The decision being made, life continued. One evening, you hear a light knocking at your door, quite a rare occurrence. Peeking through the window, you witness none other than the Witch of the Woods. Could she be here for a visit, or to settle a debt? I can't get a stipend from a witch. I'll introduce her to my daughter, Fungi. Perhaps it was time for your daughter to meet the witch. You know what? The witch is kind of like her mama. In like a very strange, not quite there sense. Perhaps it's time for your daughter to meet the witch. She could maybe even learn a thing or two. The two of you answer the door and invite the gloomy woman inside for dry and awkward small talk. Something about the way the two absently stare at each other. You wonder if they've made some sort of connection today. Oh, gain the trait Mystic Bond. Where? Oh, I think this may be... Oh, the almanac, I think, is me unlocking game colors. That seems to be it. Okay. Mystic Bond, you've developed some rapport with your creator, the Witch of the Woods. Okay, so the affection is going up. Okay, we'll see if that's okay. Miscreants broke into your home, which, while you were out, and made off with a priceless heirloom. After searching, you find your daughter cowering under your bed. Comfort her? Invest in security to... Okay. Hey! Chase down the thieves together. Let's kill them. Determined, you grab your daughter and run to chase after the thieves. Wow, my stamina went down. As an inexperienced tracker, you quickly lose their trail. Your daughter seems invigorated by the excitement, however. The decision being made, life continued. Oh, she looks different. Wait. She's a child. She's no longer a creature. Hi, John. We're playing mushroom games today. Oh, look at her now. Excellent quality. Despite a rocky introduction, your daughter is as civil as any human child now. Perfect. One morning, you notice that your daughter is nowhere to be seen. After searching, you find a massive clump of mushrooms resembling your daughter's protruding in a small clearing. Brushing away some of the freshly turned soil around, you can see that your daughter's head, having seemingly undergone her transformation, she twitches in response to your probing and shifts until the earth again covers her head. Is she growing? I feel like I should leave her in there. She needs to grow, no? Oh, she loved it. My daughter loves me. Your daughter seems intent on being underground, so you won't disturb her. After waiting for an hour, you decide to let her go. Oh, let her be and go about your daily tasks, occasionally returning to check on her. Later in the day... Oh? You've returned to find her sitting in the clearing. The creature had now taken the form of a young girl. Should we be calling her a creature? Or is that okay? You awaken, only to discover that your daughter is covered in tiny parasitic creatures! For the sake of her health, you should probably find a way to get rid of the little pests. She's organic, leave them be. Will they eat her? Give the child a thorough rinse? I think I had to spend a little medicine. Oh, finance is a 3. Dreading the potential spread of disease, you decide to seek some strong elixirs from the local apothecary. When you apply the potion, it seems to be instantly absorbed into her skin. It lends her a healthy shimmer and exterminates the bugs. I love the way this looks. The art in this is drop dead gorgeous. A flock of... Oh, no, my daughter's... It seems as though the older my daughter gets, the more I have to worry about nature killing her and eating her. A flock of hungry birds have been harassing both your crops and your daughter recently. In fact, they've become quite the nuisance. Buy some... Ignore the birds. Oh, hey! Okay, I could feed the birds, and then they'll see my daughter... No, we're hunting the birds. How dare you! I have no stamina. Shoot. You retrieve your bow and are lucky to leave with not one but 2 birds from the flock. They shouldn't show up again for a while. You and your daughter may rest. Nothing more can be done to the birds. The matter was laid to rest. Okay, I have 1 stamina. You haven't been taking very good care of yourself, and you find yourself so worn out that even leaving the house is a challenge. If you continue on without regard for your own stamina, you might very well die. We'll stay in bed. Oh, back to 6. Wow, now I need money. You'll be no use to your daughter in this state, so you decide to spend the day resting. Sitting in bed, you think about your daughter and all the tasks you'll get done tomorrow. The decision being made, life continued. An end? Where's my baby? One night, you find yourself struggling to sleep. Your mind wanders as you consider your current place in life. You've lived peacefully with your daughter for many moons. Initially, it was strange. Well, it never stopped being strange, but you were always thankful for their company. Besides, the affection you felt for her was like any parent would feel toward their child. That was normal, at least. Your thoughts turned to the concept of time, particularly how you were once alone, and how you are afraid that you'll be again someday. Your daughter has had more and more curiosities about the outside world, It's only a matter of time before she wants to strike her own path. You hope you'll be fulfilled now. You hope you've done enough. Ultimately, you find comfort in what you've done. You may have had many failures in your life, but there's one thing you can die proud of. Am I dead? Oh! A new beginning. Telling the recluse that you wanted to see more of the world wasn't an easy conversation. I'm the mushroom! As they grew older, you worried about leaving them on their own. Thankfully, your concerns were unwarranted. They were happy that you had grown enough to want to move out. They even offered to help you build your own home close to theirs. You were welcome to visit any time, obviously. I can't wait to see what my grown mushroom looks like. Faster than you would have anticipated, the two of you built your home together. They showed you all the tricks they knew and made sure to impart as much knowledge as they possibly could. Finally, the day arrived. You were officially on your own. You were scared a little, but also excited. It felt like a new chapter was just beginning for you. I gained the trait loving parent. A girl on her own. Wait, info! Look! Fungi! A brown chanterelle. Oh, a nice mushroom. A delicious mushroom. Dampness increased by a good soak. Ooh, how this stat indicates how wet and slimy her body is, but also a murkiness of the soul, so I don't want to be too damp. Mycelium increased by the right nutrients. This stat is associated with how generally healthy. Could also be a persistent optimism. Potency. The strength of the mushroom, her ability to perform, and humanity. I'm assuming I would want humanity to be kind of high. Well, oh wait, hold on. Let me look at the rest of this. Cards and tokens. Nope cards. A limited resource if you don't like an event. Okay. Soma card. How much of your body you have to... If I hit this button one more time, I'm going to lose my fucking mind. And then... Wealth token. Okay. A young adult. People don't really know me. Oh, the witch that created me in my... Okay, cool. While aimlessly wandering one day, you decide that the best use of your time would be to do some scouting. It's always useful to expand your mental map of the area. The country near your home is lush, with many diverse landscapes to be found. You decide to head to the north, toward a particularly damp, dense forest that's home to a variety of useful plants. As a child, this is where you knew to get medicine plants from, but there was danger there as well. You step into the forest, feeling a humid breeze on your fungal cheek. There's an omnipresent buzz of insects pervading the air. This section of forest feels much different than where you live, and you find that it's hard to feel at peace. Despite this, the flora and fauna is resplendent. You find yourself looking from plant to plant. What a beautiful word to use, resplendent. Finally, you see something quite interesting. A beautiful large pink flower stands tall in a nearby clearing. The petals are twisted, forming a large sparkling bud that is larger than your head. I've never stopped to consider, is she mushroom sized? How tall is she? Is she still just about that big? For a moment, you simply stand and stare at it. Something about this strange plant leaves you with a feeling of awe. You suspect that you may be able to sell this flower in the market for quite a pretty penny, or perhaps keep its splendor for yourself. Let's pick the flower. In time, if left alone, the flower will eventually die here. When you think about it, there's really no harm in taking it from these woods. Without spending too long in thought, you walk up to the plant and grab the flower by the stem. But when you do, the flower opens its eye. This understandably gives you quite a shock. You leap back, seeing the flower unfold in front of your own eyes. It takes you a moment of processing to understand, but finally you make the connection. This is not a plant at all. It is a beast. Its eye is large, still haloed by the petals that had initially attracted you. To be frank, it's hard to entirely understand the shape of it in the commotion. You do understand that it has a hefty central mass, mossy green and camouflaged in with stems and stalks. You also come to understand that this body itself is not a solid form, as it splits horizontally down the middle. Inside is an array of sharp and uneven white stones. I'm fucked. In another second, you understand those too. Teeth. Before it can make itself even more known to you, you figured it was time to do something. Hold on. I'm pretty robust. We're scum saving today. The creature has a certain home field advantage, so you decide it's best to give it something it won't expect. Your fist. Before things can escalate, you wind your fist back and let it loose directly into the creature's eyeball. Your strength shocks you. A 4? And your fist goes through the eye as if you were punching a melon. This is quite surprising. You find yourself unable to do anything but stand there for a second, just trying to comprehend the situation. I did it. Meanwhile, the creature seems to be withdrawing. I've done enough damage. After a second of staring at your fists in disbelief, you decide this confrontation has gone on for long enough. You rush home, trying to wipe your hand off the whole way. Oh, even after hours of soaking and scrubbing, a certain sliminess prevails. The nearby town is having a big contest tomorrow. The local cooks are getting together to show off their best dishes. It's open for anyone to compete or just watch. I can cook up myself a little bit. Do I want to be this risky so early? I feel like yes, I do. Let's take a chunk. Wow. I got a natural one. You try your hardest to make a wonderful meal, but in the end, you're not very confident about it. You go to town and enter the contest anyway. I cut myself open. I sold myself short. But my weakness is I can't do much. The judges taste your food and are so unimpressed they only take a bite each. They offer almost no comment before quickly moving on. Disappointed, you head home after the winner is announced. Okay, I still look whole, regardless. While tending to your home, you begin to feel an otherworldly pull towards the forest. You can't resist, and moments later you found yourself surrounded by trees and standing in front of a mushroom-covered hut. Deep within, you know the witch that made you resides here. This is my mommy! You enter the hut and bow respectfully, addressing the witch as you would an apprentice to a master. Ooh, she accepts your want for knowledge and begins tutoring you. Time moves strangely in these woods, and you're unsure how long you read scrolls and practice channeling. By the time you leave, though, you find you've gained slight control over your magical potential. I'm a witchling? Oh, a witchling. Okay. I got some growing to do. You feel a crisp breeze. The heat is relenting. Trees are changing in color. Fall has arrived. You are awoken in the middle of the night by a loud crash from your kitchen. You scramble to investigate and finally catch the source of the racket. A man hunched over in pain in the middle of your cooking nook. He spots you and seems to panic, waving his hands around. Wait, it's not what it looks like. Well, it's exactly what it looks like, but I injured myself, so I'm no longer pursuing that plan. Why don't you bless a poor fool and choose to excuse my rudeness? I mean, I could just kick him out. I'm a witch. No. Oh, this is a little more aggressive than I thought. Has my humanity gone up or down? I don't remember what that number was. No. No one will break into your house and tell you to forgive them. You roughly grab the man by the scruff of his collar, then proceed to take out the trash. The mountains bordering the northern reaches of the forest call to you. You see them every day on your adventures, and there is an overwhelming desire to climb them that simply can't be ignored. Readying yourself in the early hours of the morning, you glance over the materials you have on hand. Pack light, pack heavy. We'll pack light, and we'll rely on ourselves. Ooh, an 8. You carefully choose each item based on its weight, size, and usefulness. You pack comfortably on your shoulders, or your pack sits comfortably on your shoulders and allows for your full range of movement. With your pack all set, you make your way out to the mountain. After a couple hours of climbing, you feel like you've made some decent progress, though you're starting to get a bit tired. Just as you think it's time for a break, you come across a beautiful mountain spring complete with its own waterfall. That is really beautiful. Train your endurance? Let's relax. Is that okay? Oh. The waterfall's frigid embrace leaves your skin numb and joints stiff. I guess that does make sense. You take a moment to rest in the sun yourself, but end up falling asleep. At least you're not sweaty anymore. You wake up in the mountain forest that night. Oops. Let's spend the night. It's inadequate. Fuck, I'm doing bad. Your camp is inadequate for overnight stay. Rather than starve in the woods, you drag yourself back home upset you couldn't finish climbing. Before you was a collection of 5 or 6 humans crowded together in a circle. Now, have I seen humans? When you walk closer, you can more clearly hear the words they seem to be shouting at each other. Damn it, one of them cries out. I should have went scroll. You should always go scroll against you. Scrolls. Are these people scholars? When you take a closer look, you can see the group reset. 2 new humans go to the center of the circle, holding one fist out each. Are we playing rock, paper, scissors? The rest of the group took an anticipatory position, looking on intense excitement. That's it. If you win this, you win the whole pot. One of the onlookers was speaking closely to one competitor. How intriguing. A pot? A prized pot? You only have a boring gold regular pot. A prized pot would be quite the upgrade. Ads are starting soon, but I'll keep playing. In fact, you can see it from here, an ornate box near the edge of the group. You want the pot. How do you try to get it? Well, I want to play rock, paper, scissors. Why would I go to the cops? You're not sure if it's too late to join, but you figure it's getting later every passing second. Without another moment of delay, you run forward and implore them to let you join this mysterious ceremony. The humans share looks with each other, then words. Do we have to? I just want to win this thing and get it over with. Of course you'd say that, Jeremy. I think a random mushroom lady showing up is a good curveball myself. But what if she wins the prize? Oh, whatever, she can have it. It's not that good anyway. Finally, they seem to reach a decision. Yeah, you can play. One of them finally tells you, you know the rules of Stone Scroll? Shears! I couldn't figure out what scissors would be. Unfortunately, you're forced to tell them that you do not know the rules to speak. Do I have fingers? I have to. I'm a mushroom girl. Okay. Yeah, okay, I know this. This all seems a little strange to you. This is a sort of game that you have not encountered before that requires strange symbolic thinking, but it does seem to be a game of luck at least. With the rules now in your grasp, you watch the final round. Perhaps this will teach you the necessary strategy, if there is one. The 2 final human competitors ready for their battle. 3. The audience begins to shout, the players whipping their fists back and forth in front of them in time. 2. On the last second, a glance of intensity is shared by both competitors. 1. The 2 throw their selection in front of them. One with the symbol you have been told means shears, and the other, stone. The absolute man went stone. The crowd cheers and whoops excitedly. One of the players, the disgraced loser, mournfully re-enters the crowd. The winner, on the other hand, looks to you. All right, stranger, let's see what you got. You're pushed to the middle of the crowd with barely a second pause. The crowd starts shouting. 3. Oh no, what do you do? 2. You have to think quick. 1. If I've said it once, I've said it twice. A lady always chooses scissors. Without thought, you look down and see that your hand has selected the outcome for you. The crowd is silent as they gauge the situation, determining the winner. Once a fucking again, lady's choice. Finally, after a second of shock, both you and the crowd realize the result. You won. The crowd is whipped into a frenzy. Even if that's like an automatic thing that happens, I don't care. I'm treating it as my personal canon, where if there is ever a rock, paper, scissors moment in a game, which now there has been 2 on stream, I'm choosing scissors and I will win. 2 was enough for me to say it's fate and not a coincidence. Sorry. That's how I choose to be today. Oh my god, Jeremy, you lost to a mushroom. The audience seems to enjoy this outcome, taunting the winner happily. You're thankful that this appears to be the best ending possible for most participants, and thankful that you now get to receive this incredible pot they were all gathered for. Without being able to wait, you excitedly ask about the prize. Oh, right, obviously. One of the youths kneels down to near the chest, opening it. Where's the pot? Inside the chest, you find only a collection of human snacks. No pots at all. You question a nearby human, but they can only tell you that this was the prize they were competing for all along. Ugh, well, it's no amazing pot, but you suppose you'll accept a bounty of treats as well. You begin shoving them into your bag as the teens make small talk with you. Finally, you've gathered it all. You stand and bid them farewell, thanking them for letting you play their game. No problem. A mysterious last-minute competitor is always a good time, one of them tells you. The group cheers your exit. On your way home, you casually take a cookie from your bag and start eating it. Can I eat this? Wow, my humanity is really going up. Oh, but you know what? I still look like a mushroom. Okay. Yeah. I'm doing okay. Oh, and I can eat human food. Have I always been able to eat human food? Or is that because my humanity has gone up a little bit? We'll figure it out later. Over the past few days, you've developed a growing sense of unease. And one particularly gloomy evening, the feeling intensifies. A little malaise. You are in the dying days of autumn and a chill in the air bites at your skin. As you look out into the nearby woods, you can feel a strange calling, an invisible force pulling you towards something. It seems you're being summoned. How do mushrooms fare in the winter time? I feel like that's something I don't actually know. Before you decide if it's a good idea to follow, your body has already made the choice for you. You find yourself uncontrollably walking into the woods. Sorry, I've been so tired today. Sometime later, you find yourself in a dark and unfamiliar grove. You're relieved to see your summoner, none other than the Witch of the Woods. Oh. However, your relief is short-lived when you see the cold and serious look on her face as you approach. My daughter, the time has come. Though it was not yours, there is still... There is still a debt left unsettled, and I always find a way to collect payment. It seems she really does intend to make you pay for your parents' debt. After such a long time, you can't imagine what she requires from you. It certainly won't be easy. Fight the witch? No. This is my mom. This is my mother who teaches me magic. I'll learn magic and then I'll go back and I'll kill her. Maybe. That could be an escalation I don't need to take. There is one matter you were told that you can deal with for the witch in exchange for clearing your debt. One of my daughters has become dangerous, she tells you. A wandering, mindless monster that has proven to be quite the annoyance. Deal with her for me and you consider us even. Something tells you that there's a reason she won't describe the specific sort of danger this daughter poses, but you can only accept her terms. Oh, this city is really nice, actually. Strolling through the village, you find a donation box in front of the church. It offers lovely hats that might dress your oddly shaped head yet. And if no one particularly minds, you may even be able to keep one of them. Take the big hat. Please? That's gotta be good. Yes. You're still new to fashion in some way, seeing as your clothes are growing directly on your body. Despite that, you find the hat to be lovely and feel quite nice about yourself. What was that? I gained something. Oh, I gained a hat. I wish I could wear it, but that's okay. While on your way to gather firewood, you find that your world is suddenly turned upside down, quite literally. After a second of disorientation, you suss out. You suss out? I have not heard that used casually in quite a while. You suss out that you somehow walked yourself right into a trap. Your foot is above you, caught in the thick rope loop. You call for help, hoping someone is nearby. Thankfully, that seems to be the case. Unfortunately, you recognize the man who approaches the rotten thief! Oh. My, you're not what I had pictured. You're not quite what I had pictured squirming in my trap, the man slays with a sly grin. Maybe I'm not fucked. I'm in quite a predicament here, you see. I do feel bad about the other night, so I don't want to rob you again. But you were also quite mean to me the other night, so perhaps I do want to rob you a little. He clicks his tongue, lightly tapping his fist to his opposing palm. So you know what? If I get robbed, I'm losing all my humanity. I'm doing everything I can to lose my humanity if this is the case. Oh, fuck. How about this? I'll do what you so badly wanted me to do the other night. Leave. Have fun, little mushroom girl. The man winked, simply walking off, leaving you still ensnared. How rude. Now you had to figure out another plan. Let's use a spell. I get 8s all the time. You don't need any help from some lame rogue. You close your eyes in concentration, trying to remember all you've learned of magic. You picture yourself freed. When you open your eyes, you're upright on the ground. It worked, though you can't exactly say why. What's that little symbol? Looks like a root. Oh well, you're just happy to be free. You resume your daily activities. As you walk through the marketplace, you're met with a new sight. Today you find a new vendor in the town square, an old man with no eyebrows, and behind him a large cauldron. In front of him, strange glassware, each filled with strange liquids. The man seems to catch you staring. Don't worry, girlie, I ain't no witch, he proudly proclaims. You don't bother to tell him, but you're able to deduce that much. I have potions for everything. Tell me what you want, little mushroom girl, and I'll make a potion for it. This seems sketchy, to say the least, but you can't help but be curious. Oh, a surprise! You tell the man that you're relatively satisfied with the service your body has provided for you. You don't have any dire needs, and yet, perhaps something he could give you was a bit of a surprise, just a little jolt of excitement to liven up your day. He takes a look at you, considering the request. After a few seconds, he grins. I think I know just the thing for you. He quickly negotiates a price with you. When the two of you reach an agreement, he begins to brew your mystery potion. The man moves surprisingly quick for his age. He takes an assortment of components and reagents, tossing them into the cauldron with a certain method and rhythm you cannot identify. Before long, he hands you a black, opaque jar. Drink this in a dark room and you'll notice the effect as soon as you turn on the lights. Enjoy your surprise. You bid him farewell and decide to return home to test the potion immediately. As you step into your hut, you draw your curtains. The space is dark, as you often like it. With a sense of excitement, you slowly open the jar. When you do, something leaps out. It takes you a second to decipher the scene before you. A rainbow jolt of energy had begun bouncing around the room, finally hitting you with a quiet zip. You feel a quick wave of numbness pass over you. Ooh, I don't like this color as much, though. This one feels a little weird on my eyes. So we're going back. You quickly open the blinds, letting light back into the room and discover something has changed. Your body has shifted in color. You run to a mirror to get a good look at your new, well, look. It was different. Do you like it? No. Perhaps too different. The next day, you go to town to seek out the potion maker, perhaps hoping for a do-over. Unfortunately, it seems he has already packed up shop. Drats. You guess you'll just have to get used to it. I changed that back very quick. Look at the snow on the screen. I want snow so bad this year. Snow begins to fall as you make your way down an unfamiliar road. The day has finally come for you to settle the matter you agreed to with the witch. Oh, y'all are watching that Star Wars movie tonight. You know? Congratulations on your dedication to Star Wars, I think is what I have to say in regards to that. I'm glad you're a dedicated bunch over in the Azalea Lotus household. Snow begins to fall as you make your way down an unfamiliar road. The day has finally come for you to settle the matter you agreed with the witch. Over the past few days, you've heard a rumor that a wandering mushroom creature has been spotted lurking around nearby villages. A mindless daughter of the witch, overcome by the urge to destroy and consume. You've tracked her to the vicinity of a particularly remote village in the region. You get the feeling that successfully slaying the creature will be a minor miracle. Hide somewhere with a view. Shit. You pick a spot and watch out for any strange movement, but once you're set up, you realize you can't actually see much from here. After spending a few minutes considering if you should look for a better lookout spot, you suddenly realize the creature is already upon you. You just barely notice in time and manage to grab hold of your knife before putting plenty of distance between you and the creature. Oh, I got a new song. Let's listen. Oh, it's very good. Who did the music for this game? Now I want to know really bad. Or if it was just the dev themselves. You first notice the buzzing, nearly omnipresent, but clearly originating from her misshapen and corpulent form. I want to see this mushroom so bad. Stinging insects fly about, crawling on just about every nearby surface. The wandering sister is a pale, lumbering corpse of a mushroom girl. Any reservations you had about destroying her vanish in the horror of the sight before you. Her cap is a mottled brown, a large crevice like holes mar her already inhuman body. Little intermittent clouds of insects convene at various points on her enormous form. She takes a lumbering step toward you, and finally managing to suppress your fear for a moment, you devise an approach. Charge! Yes! You leap forward suddenly, taking advantage of the creature's sluggishness to overrun it. Your knife finds its target in the unmissably huge body as you rush into her. The both of you are sent reeling as she topples over, and you struggle to regain your footing. Brandishing the rot-stained knife, you press your advantage. Slay her! Oh. E. It's now or never. You focus on the tip of your blade, praying that it strikes true. You miss. The cloud of all-consuming pests gives you little time to reflect as you fall to the ground, completely unbalanced by your failed assault. Your vision blackens. All that you know in the world is the tearing, stinging swarm. The hum of insects grows louder as your sensation mercifully numbs into nothingness. You sense the wandering sister. This was an ending! You sense the wandering sister standing over you, staring blankly until you too fade into an empty husk. Are we done? I died! My mushroom daughter. I like this though. I'll probably return to this later because I did like it a lot and I want to see how far I can go with like the absolute worst decisions as always. But I'm gonna leave this here for now.